if you're ready. Okay, welcome to the July 27th Committee of the Whole for the Village of Cumberland. I would like to start by acknowledging that we are gathering and governing on the unceded traditional territory of what is now known as the Comox Nation. And we are grateful for their care and stewardship of this land since time immemorial. Could I have a motion to approve the agenda, please? Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Apologies. I'll just step back and say Councillor Therrien is away on family matters, and Councillor Ward is zooming in from afar. So he's online. And now we're going to vote in favor of that agenda. Sorry that we started. Thank you.
Waving to
Nice. And first up is Strategic Priorities Second Quarter report. So I guess we'll just go straight to questions unless you want to highlight something.
No, that's all right. I would say I'm stepping in for Michelle, the CAO, tonight at the last minute, so I don't have a presentation, but Michelle does have a written report to summarize the quarterly activities on page 4 and 5 of the agenda package.
Awesome.
Happy to
thank
answer
you.
any questions.
Okay, I'm just going to scroll through and see if I do have any questions. I don't remember. Yeah, so on page 14 of 82, I believe, there's sewer and storm master plan updates. I just wonder if somebody wants to give us a little more detail on the water master plan and which one is holding up the water master plan is combined with the wastewater stuff or something, and I think it's probably wastewater that's holding up the.
Yeah, that's correct. It
Okay.
is just a combination of seeing efficiencies with the consultant's time and effort on getting
Right,
the
because
three
it's the
models
same
together.
consultant doing both those
That's
work.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so they've
Okay.
just been trying to get the last minute input from our OCP planning data, which is shared with the regional district, and they're just finalizing that information. So,
Awesome. Okay, thanks. So next quarter.
yeah.
Okay. Good.
On page 16, for solid waste collection and service procurement, there's a new item that's procurement for manual collection completed in October 2022. Does that make it? It says new but old. I just have a question.
New but old. I don't know.
Easter egg to see if we're reading this.
Yep, I think that was done. Okay, and then on page, I just have a correction on page 20
An
of
actual question.
88. Sorry.
I'm just curious. I was curious. It says just that it's a new, and anyway.
Sorry, I don't. What page are you on?
15. On page 16. It just says new, but it's from 2022 and complete,
Oh.
and like I just.
Service procurement. Oh, because I think I'm going to take a stab at it. And if I'm wrong, Dave, you can correct me. Solid waste procurement, I think the conversation for manual, or the service agreement for manual collection was agreed to in 2022 and is expiring. And that's why we're having a new conversation. I don't know why it says new there.
Okay, so I could offer a little bit of help. Where
Thank
it
you.
says new, that's automatic in the system that we use
Oh,
to
because you
create
just
this.
added a
Oh,
To create this, it was just typed in
Fair.
for the first time. So that must be what happened.
okay.
That
So,
we
like,
just
that's not-
just decided it was important context
Fair.
to give that information.
Yes.
And you hadn't seen it yet, so the comment is new.
Perfect. Thank you.
Excellent, thanks.
That was the question.
Okay, and then on page 20 of 82, if we can just change the listing under the goal of geothermal energy. It's actually not geothermal that we're exploring, it's geo-exchange. And geothermal has a lot of complicated things that geo-exchange does not have. So if we can rename that, that would be awesome.
I just had a question on 22 there.
22.
Just the council chambers. Am I still funding everything? We're good with that? There's no nasty surprises in there?
Any update on that?
I don't have a current update from the last couple of weeks on that one yet, but last touch point was with our architect who was here. They've got everything ready to go, but we've been seeing further delays still from the adjusters side of things in terms of communications. So we're still continuing to press on that matter, but that's
Okay.
kind of the current status of it. And so in the report, we're just still receiving those delays on the quarterly report side. Yeah. So hopefully we'll hear something very soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next, council.
We'll just cross our fingers harder for that insurance process too. Yes.
And then we're never late on our payments. I bet that's just.
And if we are insurers. Okay, that's all I had for the colored chart.
I had one.
Yes, go for it.
Yes, for me. Just algal, Allen Reservoir, the algal bloom. Just wanted to know if we're experiencing that, if it's causing us any constraints, and where that's. I see there's a new comment. I can read that. So yeah.
Anybody want to speak to Allen Lake's algae situation? Poor Dave.
Sorry, I actually don't have an update on that one either.
Yeah.
I just got back from vacation on Friday, so we're still getting
Yeah.
caught up today on 300 emails. But when we speak with Allen Lake and algae, we are still working on the aeration project a little bit in the background with our scientists on that one. And
Yeah.
we're looking at procurement options right now to see what would be best fitting, and we'll be looking at financial planning.
Yeah, and just for clarification, in general, we just bypass
Has
that
there-
water in the summer when this happens so that it's not actually going into our drinking water.
That's correct. We're looking at options associated with that too, just so
Yeah.
we can see if we can further our volume there.
Yeah.
But it'll be a part of that project as an outcome of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did that answer your question, Counselor?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any major blooms up there right now. That's the only thing I don't know about the last couple of weeks.
Oh,
but
okay.
if there's anything happening up there.
Yeah, it might have
water
settled down.
quality-wise.
It was pretty
Yeah.
bad a while ago, but might have settled down
Okay.
with the cooler weather. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you might just hang out there. I don't know if there's any more for you. Next up is financial statements, and Annie's not here. But maybe somebody can answer. Oh, it's homeowners grants. I just answered it. I say it's okay. I had something highlighted. So I'm like, what does that mean? And no fire or rescue. To speak to that report, does anyone have any questions or comments on either finances or protective services? Just noticing in fire again that the rate of responses for medical response is 50% of their calls. And they are not, well, some of them are paramedics actually, so. And next up is RCMP. And I see a 17% decrease in calls for service in Cumberland compared to the same time last year, which is nice. And then a 22% decrease in violent crime, although assaults seem to have gone up. Do you have comments you want to add, Troy? Thank you for being here.
No problem. So, was it disseminated to everybody, Scott's,
Yes.
the presentation?
Everybody's got the
From our
report.
analyst? Excellent, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, overall, decrease in 43 fewer files. over the CVRD in general, and for Cumberland, it's 41.
Ah.
So that's 17 less calls in quarter one. So that's encouraging. We're, again, as always, continue to monitor that, make sure it's not simply a short-term fluctuation. Typically, as we get into through the summer months, the next reporting, we see increases, but that's to be expected. Traffic incidents were the most common call type over the entire CVRD, especially as you are aware, here in Cumberland. There was 188 traffic incidents reported, not just in Cumberland, but CVRD in general. So it's one of the most common concerns raised by residents. And again, we're addressing that in this year's upcoming, or well, in this current strategic priorities, and a number of different options to pursue, the problems in that area with some education and some proactive enforcement as well. But that enforcement and education kind of goes hand in hand, so we'll be doing that coming up. Overall, there was in violent crime, speaking of that, there was a 5% decrease, but assaults increased by 5 from 23 to 28. And just of interest sake, 46 of those occur between Cumberland and Black Creek. So almost
okay.
account for half of those assault calls in
Yeah.
the CVRD between those two communities.
Okay, interesting.
Relatively stable though, a slight increase. Like I said, we're dealing with those small numbers. A few makes a percentage
Yeah, it makes a
points,
huge
right?
difference, yeah.
Property crime, again, a 10% increase. That's again across the CVRD in general. Cumberland did have the highest number of property crimes reported in the CVRD areas. It's an area of focus for us. Okay, those numbers are not overall alarming, but theft-related offenses and frauds, of course, help drive those numbers up a little bit. We're dealing with drugs and drug enforcement. There was only 2 reported files. Both of those were in Cumberland. And of course, we have our units that are proactively working on those matters at all times, right? So we had, I guess, a positive trend, impaired driving, if you want to consider it, I guess. The decrease in files was 20%. Traffic files overall decreased 25%, and vehicle collisions decreased 22%. So we still, like I said, still focusing on the traffic as a main source of complaints in the Cumberland area for sure.
Yeah, and is that also the calls that you're getting out to Comox Lake? Is
Some of
that-
them,
are
some of
those
them
traffic?
would include those, yeah.
Yeah.
Would be captured. Maybe not some of the municipal boundaries, but it does drive them up in town, right?
Yeah.
As well, but.
Yeah, I just know there's a concern with people coming off their boats and then
Yeah, and there
driving.
has been direction given to our folks that to make those patrols when and if they're able, especially focusing on that area
Awesome.
at that time of evening.
Yeah, great, thank you. Questions, council?
Just wondering if you had a boat on the lake, or do you do?
It's
only-
part of the seasonal policing priority. We do have a smaller boat that we can put in there, and there is a plan. We do have some funding available, so we're trying to get some people out there to do some of those spot checks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
But there's one boat that has to serve, like, is that the boat that goes to Denman? and
No,
Hornby
no,
as
that one
well?
stays
Oh,
in the
okay.
water. That's a larger,
Oh, okay.
like 28-foot.
Oh, you have a little- oh, okay.
And we have a smaller one that we can take and put in the lakes.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice, okay,
Yeah, so we don't have to haul that big one out.
yeah. Okay, I think, anything else on that? Okay, thank you. You're gonna hang around for closed questions as well? We
Sure can.
probably won't be, I'm not gonna say that, but we shouldn't be too long. Okay, our next up is Development Services Quarterly Report. Do you want to speak to that since you're already sitting there, Courtney? I don't have, does anybody have specific questions?
I have one.
Yep.
I just note that the Carlisle Lane, last time you were working with the developers on their park construction and boulevard piece, and that shifted this quarter to it falling into our responsibility, I think.
Yeah, that's
Is that
correct.
correct?
That's correct. We have a agreement with the developer when they're required to do the planting, the boulevard and the park planting. We never, currently anyway, require that's done immediately, because the idea is that 75% of the construction of the subdivision, like the houses being built, should be done first, so that the boulevards are not at risk of being damaged by all the construction traffic. So they put down a security deposit, and then when we've reached that threshold, we let them know that it's time to plant, and they have to do so within a period of time, or we have the ability to take their deposit to complete it ourselves. That's never a preferred option, because it takes village resources to do that. But it's important that it's done. It's important for the community that it's done. So in this case, we tried for quite a long time to work with the developer to support them and them doing it themselves, but we just reached the point where that didn't seem like it was a realistic option anymore. So then we took the step to take their deposit, and I believe we've done so with mutual agreement with the developer. So now the next step is that we're working on our own timeline for getting that work done. It's funded. They put down a deposit for it. But we do need to kind of mobilize our resources and our contractors.
That's always disappointing to have to take that step at the end. So okay, but I understand.
Just a question, is that fully funded then, or do we still take a bit of a hit?
Well, they're required to put out a deposit for 120% of the estimated cost. The idea being that
So
that should
from
cover
staff.
cost escalations. So we haven't got down to the details yet, but that would be the idea, that it would be fully funded.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank
we
you.
would just work with the money that we have and do what we can with that.
Yeah, and
rather
then-
than trying to fulfill what we thought they were going to do. Yeah?
That's the hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we needed a budget, we would let council know what the options were, but I'm confident we'll be able to do it with the budget we have,
Okay.
by making some adjustments if needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm just going to do my due diligence and ask about Coal Valley Estates. I see the PLR was extended to May 13th, 2026 for another year. Are we getting anywhere with that?
We are making progress. We're working on the development permit to come to council, and we're working with the applicant to make sure that we have all the information that we need. And it is a lot of information that's needed to support what they're asking to do. Just last week we received some more, so it's happening. They are actively working on it. They did have a bit of a setback with their development team. Actually, someone who was leading their development consultant actually passed away a month or so ago. So that caused a bit of a disruption in their timeline.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions on that? Okay, seeing none, we can move on to permits, licensing, and bylaw. So I noticed that our business license approval timelines are now from between 6 and 21 days. Congratulations and thank you so much. That was not the case a while ago. So that's a great improvement. I'm curious about the 38 unresolved building file issues being transferred. Does anybody want to?
I can speak to that, sure. Yeah, so this was a list of that we kept. Prior to the staffing trends, we have a totally new staff in the bylaw department. But prior to that, we were keeping a list of sort of non-urgent, unresolved building issues. And it's like, when capacity allows, we're going to follow up with these. And that's what those were. That's what those are. So it was just like, all of a sudden it seemed like, okay, we can't let this list wait forever. We need to look through it and see what's been resolved, and many of them have been,
Yeah.
and what might still be remaining, just from the perspective of liability and risk to the village. So that's what that is.
Awesome, thank you. I hope it's not really 38. I mean, it's probably less than that.
It
Hopefully
was
some of them
it
are
was
resolved.
38 to start with,
Yeah.
but I think many of them were quickly resolved. Many of them had already been resolved.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of looking through the list.
Yeah. Okay, that's all the questions I have. Does anybody else have anything for, yep?
Yeah, what's the parking numbers? I mean, it's not like people calling in, is it people getting tickets? Both?
Yeah, that would be people calling in and with an issue that relates to the streets and traffic bylaw, and then we put them, categorize them under parking.
Okay, great, thanks.
Is that, so that's our highest number of calls, 16 in April, 11 in May, 14 in June. Are they all coming from different people, those complaints, or are they like consistent infractions in a certain area or something like that?
No, for the most part, it's different people. Like we have, there are a couple of examples of people where, it kind of takes a couple of times to resolve an issue, where we have to, maybe go back and see the same person, or the same person has the same complaint a couple of times. But in general, it's different people.
Okay, awesome, thanks.
Any of it construction driven, where people just have to put their cars somewhere for an extended period of time, or is it?
I can't think of one that's related to construction, but no. In general, it's just sort of, I guess, there's generally sort of a bit of constraint to parking, and so sometimes people find it helpful to call and ask for help to resolve issues. I think at some point we'll probably have a look at that bylaw, and maybe redoing that bylaw, which might help as well. But I think it's also one of those issues that's sort of top of mind when thinking of bylaw services in general, like parking and animal control, are just the things that people think about. So it does end up being often the sort of the highest, and not just in this community, but others that I've worked into, being the highest call types, those parking and animal control calls.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I think just as we grow and densify, that becomes more of an issue as well. And also, we attract all these people to come here, and they may or may not know where they should or shouldn't be parking. So maybe that's...
Sometimes it is related to visitors and around events that can cause an increase.
Okay, thanks. Okay, any other questions? And if no more questions for bylaw, then the next is the council resolutions list. Any questions on that? Okay, seeing none, we can go to question period. And we have audience members. So if you have any questions about anything on that agenda or list, now's your chance. No pressure. Rachel, anything online? Alrighty, there's a motion to move into closed session.
I recommend that council close the meeting to the public pursuant to section 91 of the community charter to consider discussions with municipal officers and employees respecting municipal objectives, measures, and progress reports for the purposes of preparing an annual report under section 98, annual municipal report.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?